Hey, YouTube, it's Jaden. Um, this is my last day before I get onto campus, and I would like you guys to know that I am not making too many videos, probably in my senior year, because I'm taking a lot of extra courses then, and at a different college. Um, so I'm making this video because of that reason. Because I'm free. I'm free today rather than, tomorrow and the rest of that school year. Um, in the beginning of my freshman year, I made a video it's my first YouTube video addressing, you know, me as a future astrophysicist working for NASA. Um, Now, as a senior, I would like to address myself as a future as a future physics professor, um, hopefully working for Cheney, and then uh, maybe working for whoever. But I would like to become a physics professor. Um, and I say that because um, I was actually I made that video, the first video, kind of for the wrong reason. I did want to work for NASA, like that was genuinely a dream job for me, but mainly because of the name and because I wasn't too sure like necessarily like what the job would entail, right? Like I don't remember. I never watched that video again, honestly, because it's my first YouTube video and I didn't necessarily like find myself around that time. I was still very nervous. I was a very I was a different person back then. I would kind of consider it kind of embarrassing, but I'm still kind of proud of that video. It's just I wouldn't watch it again, but I'm proud of it because um it did take me a minute to make that video, and this daggone pimple is pissing me off. But I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But what I was thinking about a NASA astrophysicist was kind of what like Albert Einstein, like the women in like Hidden Figures was doing, right? Um, but you gotta think about that in the sense of that time period, right? Like that was the early 1900s, right? For both of them, right? I mean, I think Hidden Figures was like the 50s, 60s, or whatever. Um, so they like their computers was not similar to the computers we have today, right? They were using whiteboards, right? And that's what I figured I would be doing at NASA. But the more I thought about it, was like, oh, I'd really be on my computer most of the time, and that's really what that's what I figured I'd be doing at NASA. Like I'd really be working on my computer most of the time. That's really what a lot of jobs kind of entail you to be doing, and that's not necessarily something I want to do. Um, the more I thought about it, it was around like 2021. It was around like my sophomore year when I was talking to my mom about it, and we were talking about like astrophysics and whatever, and like me working at NASA, and she was like, and I was telling her like I'd want to like write equation on the whiteboard and such, and she was telling me like, no, that's stuff that people that teach do. That's people like, if you're at NASA, you'd be really be on your computer most of the time. And I thought about it. I was like, oh no, she's kind of right actually. And yeah, it made me think. you know? And so, yeah, it was around 2021 where it made me rethink, like, do I really want to be doing that? And, throughout my whole years at Cheney, I've been tutoring. I've been tutoring really, really in the math classes, like calculus. That's actually only, calculus, statistics, algebra. We don't have any more, like, we don't have any more upper math classes because there's not a math major here anymore. So it kind of sucks. But, I was tutoring in classes like such as math or physics, and I would like to consider myself a pretty good tutor, you know. I was actually like overbooked as a tutor. I figured because I was pretty decent, and I used to write in my books a lot, and I used to there like in the place where we tutored there was a whiteboard, and there was either a whiteboard or a chalkboard, and I used to actually like write the stuff on the whiteboard or the chalkboard, and I enjoyed doing that, like genuinely speaking. And it made me think, like, I don't want to be a teacher when I grow up, because I don't want to necessarily teach like super younger kids, but I like tutoring, And I came across, now this part is a little controversial, but I came across, at the time I was dating this girl, and she took me to her church, and her pastor is like a prophet of some sort, and this was a little interesting. I don't necessarily, I'm not too sure in like whether like I believed it, because a lot of the things that he was saying, right? Because I went to I went to talk to him like one on one, and a lot of things that he was saying about like me and my family was like completely true. It was really weird, actually, because it was like I don't know the dude. Like, how is he like getting everything like completely correct, And he said a lot of things like, like I said, my family, about me. And one thing that he said about me is that he saw me being a professor when I grew up. And when he said that, because I'll tell you this, it wasn't then that I thought I was going to be a professor. Like I said, it was around 2021 when I was talking to my mom, and at the time I still wanted to be an astrophysicist, but my plan B was like, I guess I could teach if the whole astrophysics thing doesn't work at NASA. And when he said like he sees me being a professor when I grow up, that like blew my mind, because I never told him that. I never told him that at all. And again, that wasn't my plan A, that was my plan B, right? But he said that, and it was like, I don't know if that was God like speaking to me, like, yo, chill on the NASA stuff and like continue teaching, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but once he said that, like, I really started like rethinking about it, and yeah, ever since I really thought about like genuinely becoming like a professor. And I just did this internship at University of Connecticut. I made a video in Connecticut, I think like 2 videos or something. And when I was in Connecticut, I actually found out that professors, like, only 10% of 10% of professoring, I don't know what the word is, 10% of being a professor is really teaching. Like, the other like 90% is like actually researching, which is something that I still want to do. Like, I still would love to research and be like that scientist, like I would love to teach. I still like teaching, because there's that moment where like when I'm teaching other people, I don't want to sound like I'm patronizing, but it's like when I'm teaching other people, and it's like and then like they get it, like there's like that click in their head, instead of them like just Googling the answer, and when they like actually get it, like that is like the most satisfying thing in the world. But when I was speaking to my mentor, he was saying that like, and he's a professor, he was saying like they really only profess for like, they only profess because it's their job. Like researching is what they do kind of like for fun, I guess. Like it's also their job, but it's like, it's their main job, I guess. I don't know. So I'm making this video because, yeah, being an astrophysicist was my dream job, freshman year. It was. But I didn't necessarily think about it as I did. Like, I thought out being an astrophysicist the way that a professor works, right? Like, again, like I said, I thought being an astrophysicist was putting equations on boards. But that's exactly what a professor does when they teach other students, So, I'm talking to you, Jaden, in the future for whenever you become a professor. And I also hope that you give back to the community. Because that's also where my mind is now. I'm very okay, hold on. Let me relax. But I would like to say I'm more progressive than I was before. And I would like to say Cheney does need to, I think the students at Cheney need to give back, and I would love to help, So, again, Jaden, I'm talking to you for the future, for whenever you end up becoming a professor. It might be hard because I'm not necessarily good at public speaking. I might be good at teaching. I might be alright at teaching, but I'm not necessarily good at public speaking. But I think you got it. I think you do have it. You have it. You have it in you. And I think this year should definitely be the year that you find out whether or not that is the career you will derive your path from, or continue your path on, rather. So, yeah, I don't know. Just making this video because, I've been thinking about it for a couple years now. Like I said, a couple years, like 2021. So, hopefully that does become the case, that I end up becoming a professor. And I do teach kids about the politics that they need to learn, because I do want to profess in a hbcu, because I think that's very necessary. Because there are black kids that like lean right, which is really weird to me. I think that's very odd, but I think that also is because some of them are like traditionally Christian, and because of wherever their parents lean on politically, and I think they need to know that they shouldn't switch up. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna continue watching this numerical analysis video. So that's all I got, and peace.